What's up, guys? Army-Firedawg is back again, coming straight up to video, or should I say review number 2. Trying to get these done because they are due today. Like I said, Swiftwater class has had me delayed, along with finishing my last 2 college classes of the semester, or this, whatever this is I'm in with online classes. Anywho, I'm digressed. But today I actually have the review for you of the Blitzwolf, and this is their FYE-1 true wireless earbuds. This has been a very interesting pair of earbuds to listen to. They definitely have their pluses, and they also definitely have their minuses. But without further ado, let's jump into the review so I can discuss those in depth with you, shall we? So, starting with the construction. The construction of the FYE-1 is actually pretty interesting. So it has a very unique design to it. It's very elongated. And as you can see, as soon as you open up its charging case, it immediately goes into pairing mode, which I actually like. I don't have to turn it on. It's just bam, turn my Bluetooth on my phone, connected. But I'll touch on that next. And I'm not sure if you will, but if you hear a watering sound, again, apologies. Doing laundry, trying to get my uniform and stuff done for my class in the morning. So really not a high quality couple videos for you all. I do sincerely apologize. I've got a lot going on right now, and I'm trying to get stuff done that's due. But getting back on track. So the construction, like I said, is very interesting because it is actually quite elongated. I believe this is going to be its Bluetooth dongle. So how it sits in your ear, very straightforward. Oh, and it is an angled tip. As you can see that, I love seeing this. I want this to be a standard. That is actually a very high angle, as you can see. And it goes in your ear. Just like so, if you can see it. There we go. Now, at first I thought it would stay in your ear very, very well. However, with the default silicone tips that came with it, no sir or ma'am. It did not stay in your ear hardly, at least me personally, during my time with this, during the various activities I've done with it, from cleaning to walking around, whatever, it really did not stay in my ear. The silicone tips and this wing right here, it did not do a good job with the silicone tips of staying in my ear. I constantly had to continuously to keep adjusting it. Now, I personally am very fortunate enough to be able to purchase Comply memory foam tips. You've heard me talk about them in several videos, and I still swear by them. Not sponsored, but hey, you know, if y'all want to send me a couple stuff. Anywho, I digress. But anyway, so I swear by the Comply tips. So, anytime I have a problem with silicone, I always put the Complies on. Now, with the memory foam tips and their ability to expand to fill my ear canal, I was able to get a very firm and solid fit. In addition, it drastically helped the isolation, which before in just the silicone was not there. These things might as well have been a semi-open or open back because they did not isolate for squat. I could hear everything going on around me. But with the Comply tips on, that did very, very nicely in isolating that. So in the case of the Blitzwolf FYE-2, I would strongly encourage some memory foam tips to use with them, which in and of itself does actually have a negative. If you're using the memory foam tips, as you can see right now, I do not have anything on, because if you do, they will not fit in their case. They physically just won't fit in. You can't close it, you can't force it, so you do have to either take the memory foam tips off or put the silicone tips back on before you put them back in to their charging case. But getting back on track to the actual piece itself. So the overall frame is what you would expect of a product in this price point. It's a very inexpensive plastic that you do need to take care of. Yes, it can take some drops simply because it is so light. However, if it's hit something or something hits it, it may crack. I can't guarantee it. I personally didn't have any issues with it. However, just the type of plastic it is needs to be taken care of. On each side or each earbud, there is a singular button right there. There it is. I don't know if you can kind of see it. It's right here. So this button is interesting. So with a single press, a simple short press, is your answer, hang up, play, and pause. if you hold the button down extensively for, like I said, it's about 3 full seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. I want to say it's 3, but it may be 5. It's a long time. That is your track forward. Interesting, right? So if you do 2 quick presses, tap, tap, I thought that would be track forward. Nope. At least with the case with me personally and my LG V20 that it was Bluetooth to, and which is an Android phone. I do not have an Apple device anywhere in my house to test this feature with. But when I double click it, it actually consistently every time brought up my Google Assistant. And it gives it I ask, how can I help you? Every time I did this, and I could talk to it, ask it something, and it would do its search thing, and there it is. So if you're driving, which is actually the applicable term I use this for, I'm only one, safe driver, use it for a hands-free device. So if you need like a search for some or set an alarm clock or something, just simply hit a double tap and then have your Google Assistant take care of that. When I first had it, I kind of thought it was funny. I was like, this is a silly little perk. But the more I used it, I kind of liked it. It was pretty cool. I actually wish more wireless products would have that Google Assistant kind of turn on feature, because that was pretty cool. I like that. The charging case itself is very small and of similar plastic, so you do need to take care of it. Same rules as the earbuds apply to this. As soon as you put the earbuds in, as you can see, there's 2 red lights there. That indicates that they are charging. When they are fully charged, they will turn blue. The case itself is charged, like I said in the unboxing video, with a single micro USB port and then a single LED indicator on the back. As you can see here, I've had to charge these earbuds a few times. I've listened to them quite a bit over the sense of my review time. Now, moving on to the comfort. Now, I pretty much touched on the comfort on the construction side, so I'm not going to really dig too deep, but I will just stress that with the silicone tips provided, I just did not find them comfortable. Having to constantly adjust the things, it just really became a chore, and that's something I really enjoyed doing. However, once I put aftermarket comply tips on, I found that the FYE-1s were very comfortable. I literally could sleep in them. I literally did sleep in them. I did lay on my side. I did have to kind of find a soft spot in the pillow when I was side sleeping to when they were on. But once I found that spot, they just kind of blended in. So very well done. As long as they are, they're very flush. So the comfort is completely with a caveat. By default, I couldn't get into them. I just think they fell out of my ears way too easily. But with some aftermarket tips, I think they are spot on. They just disappear. Now, moving on to the sound quality, what y'all care the most about. So how do the Blitzwolf FYE-1 true wireless earbuds sound? And to be this kind of give a summary of its sound, they're very impressively musical IEM. That's bright. I don't really, actually, this is the first time I've ever think I have used the musical and bright terms together, but these are really enjoyable to listen to. Like, I've gone through several batteries, and I am so sorry I legit did not pay attention. I may have in my written review, but off the top of my head, I cannot remember how long the battery life was. And again, like I said in my last video, it's very late. I've had a long day, so I'm just trying to brain fart. But I've gone through several hour battery cycles listening to them, and they're just enjoyable to listen to. They're very forgiving of any musical genre, of any musical quality, like bitrate, whether it be YouTube or the lossless, etc. As I would expect in its price point, I didn't think it'd be too picky. But the ability for it to, and this is what really impressed me, like if I had to put one finger on something that impressed me the most, it'd be this. Is this cheap thing's ability, and I want to say it's like $50 if I'm not mistaken. Link in the description so you can sign up, find out yourself. I believe it's $50. But its ability to differentiate instruments, its ability to accurately place instruments in the soundstage that's pretty small. I wouldn't call it an intimate soundstage, but it's a smaller soundstage, but it has really good depth. Like I could really about get a good sense of air out of a product that's only $50. And it's just like, man, I mean, I'm able to visualize, like, if I closed my eyes and I let the earbuds, it's not going to do it for you. You do have to close your eyes and be in that mindset. But if I close my eyes and let myself drift into the music and experience it, I could visually see the cellos over here playing, the flutes right there. I could see the drums in the back, and I could place them very impressively. Like, I couldn't help but smile every time I listen to these, and like, these are only $50. Minus the comfort issue I have with them sound-wise. Shoot. Very nice. With certain genres, and I will touch on that here in just a second. So, imaging, a lot of potential, but you do have to let it. Like, you have to close your eyes and intentionally want to drift into that music, or else it's just going to be a pair of earbuds on your ears. In your ears, excuse me. And soundstage, very narrow, but good depth. Now, moving on to the individual aspects, so hopefully I can describe what I'm trying to explain better. So starting with the treble and then working my way down from there, the highs on the FYE-1 they have a quick roll-off, but I wouldn't call that necessarily a bad thing. It still has all the energy, like when I'm listening to the violins, or whatever I'm listening to that has a good bit of treble bias, it's still all enjoyable. It's all there, and it kind of rolls, and it peaks very early. So it's not going to get piercing, and I do think that is just the max potential of the drivers. I don't think it's fault of the earbud. I'm probably not using the correct words, but I think that's just as good as the drivers can do in the treble extension is. And you'll see if you ever able to hear them yourselves, you'll be like, I know what Firedawg's talking about. The energy's there, like it's enjoyable to listen to violins, but they don't get that high a peak. They get to where they're still nicely high up, but then they go whoop, steeply roll off. So classical music, very enjoyable. Violins, wonderful. And that moves down into the mids. So the vocals, also very nicely, very detailed, very enjoyable. Definitely had that bias kind of to the treble. I want to say there is a treble bias. I don't think they're that bright of an IEM, because like I said, there is a quick roll off, but there's definitely a treble bias there, or upper mid to treble bias. But the mids, especially for female vocals, sound really nice. Like they come through clean, they come through accurate, and I find the mids just to be an overall enjoyable experience. I don't really have much more other than add to that. Now, moving on to the bass. So, if you remember from my Blitzwolf speaker, the ES2 speaker that I just reviewed, how I was so impressed with the bass on that thing, but the treble was just around. The treble on the FYE-1s, very nice, very enjoyable, but there is no bass on this thing. There is bass response. It's going to hit, and it's there, but it is not feeling. Like, listen to the same blah 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 song. That's actually the title, not just being sarcastic. That's the actual title. Or songs by Timmy Trumpet, or rock songs. They sort of have a good bass punch and bass like bobs your head and listen to and gets you in the mood to do work. They're not feeling it on the FYE-1. Not once that I can recall during my time with them did I ever get that, a full feeling of the entire musical spectrum was full sounding with the FYE-1. They definitely have their place. And this kind of goes in with the summary of them. So I guess I'll go ahead and transition to the summary. Is that they are a very utilitarian wireless earbud, as in they work either with one ear or both. I love the fact that as soon as you open the case, they immediately turn on and go into charging mode. I love that. I really do. And I love its Google Assistant. Microphone. Call qualities. Call quality, me hearing my caller, wonderful. Sounds just no different than if I'm on my phone. Actually, I take that back. I actually think it sounds better because I have two speakers now, and that's more isolating, so I do hear them better. However, every conversation I had with it, they said I did sound a little distant. It wasn't bad. They stress it like, no, it sounds fine. It's just I sound distant. Like I need to put the phone closer to me. It's like, well, sweetheart, I can't do that. So there, keep that in mind. It's a very utilitarian IM, but for its price, I think they do a good job. And another thing I forgot. Goodness, West. They do not have aptX, and there is a notable, about as much as a half-second gap between words that are being spoken and that you're able to hear. And listening to or watching movies or TV with that, anything other than most animes, it's not enjoyable. These are a listen to stuff earbud, and then that's almost about it. Unless you don't mind the difference, if that doesn't bother you, the difference in voice and mouth moving, and if it doesn't, there you go. Enjoy it. But overall, I do like the earbuds. I just do think they do need to work on the ear tips that come with them. And I'm not even faulting the bass response. That's just the frequency that they were going for and the sound they were going for. Truly, I think they did a good job. Not everyone needs a super heavy, super bassy earbud. So I do think once you get tips, that will definitely fix that particular issue. At least I know it did for me. And I really wish aptX was a standard. Probably going to increase the price of some products some. I don't know how much. I'm not an expert in marketing. In fact, I know nothing about marketing or pricing stuff. But that really takes down the enjoyment factor or the usability of a product if it doesn't have that very important feature to have. That's actually it for the review of the Blitzwolf FYE-1 True Wireless Earbuds. If you have any questions or if there's anything I may have missed, please hit me up in the comments down below and let me know, and I'll absolutely reply back and let you know, hopefully, I can't guarantee it, but I will try my best to answer your question you have. But anyway, guys, as always, my name is Army-Firedawg. It has truly been a pleasure, and most importantly, and please I ask of you, my friends, stay safe.